Okay, mine's recorded too.
Okay. Okay, I'll let them in.
Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing today? Hi, Martin. Thanks for chatting. Okay. We're still waiting for a few more to come in, so I will let you all know when we are ready to get started. So perhaps we're going to give them another 5 minutes. So we'll start promptly at 4:10 p.m. Singapore time. All right, everyone. Okay, now it's 4:09 p.m. Okay, we're just gonna let everyone who's supposed to be here to join us as they come. But thank you so much, the rest of you, for making your time here and coming early and joining us today. So I hope you're doing well today, everyone. It's 4:09 p.m. Singapore time, and I understand that we have people from all over ASEAN. So maybe you can just introduce yourself by dropping down the country that you are from in the chat below. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Which country are you from? Or where are you from? If you want to unmute yourself, feel free to do that. Do not be shy. All right, Martin from Singapore. Thank you, Martin, for being supportive. How about the rest of you? I hope you're not just here to listen in and also to participate as well. Okay, I see I have Yahmana. I have Apple. We have a Yoda Jedi here. We also have Florence, Louisiana, and there's a name with Chinese characters. Unfortunately, I cannot read Chinese characters, so maybe you can let me know how do I pronounce your name? Ah Ching. Okay. Ah Cheng? Yes, okay. Ah Cheng from Singapore. Thank you so much for joining us. How about the rest of you? So silent. Okay. I will not add pressure to you who are attending the class today. So let's kickstart today's session. Welcome to Introduction to AI Tools. My name is Huda, and I will be walking you through this journey where you will learn a little bit more about AI tools. Now, just a brief introduction about what we do here at Hatch. So this program is actually brought to you by the Go Digital ASEAN. It is in support with Google as well as ASEAN Foundation. So thanks to them, you are able to be part of this session today. So you can join us with the session today by going to menti.com and use the code that you see here on the screen, which is 13290760, 13290760. So you can go through the slides together with me as we go along for today's session. I hope that you have completed your asynchronous reading materials too. So there were a couple of introduction and background about AI tools and how AI came about. That would be helpful for you to have a better understanding about why we learn or utilize AI in our day-to-day, and also how we can maximize and utilize it for our digital marketing efforts as well. Okay, so agenda for today is an intro to AI tools and its landscape. We'll also explore some different types of AI tools, prompt some crafting, and also do a little bit of practical applications. So some of the applications that we will be sharing with you today require a paid subscription, but the ones that we are sharing with you on the live demonstration, those are free ones for you to actually go through, or there's a free trial for you to experience it. Okay, so we want to also set some expectations and have fun together while we learn, but we want to create our workshop community that's safe and open for you all to learn, where you can stay open and curious. Feel free to share your stories, whether it is in the chat or if you would like to unmute yourself, feel free to do so as well. And remember to respect each other and also give kindness in other people's experience and learning differences. Everyone has different learning styles, so let's respect that as well. And of course, please engage actively. I am here with you for the next 1.5 hours, so I hope you will be here with me too for the next 1.5 hours. Okay, so let's commit to do the best that we can together as we learn about the AI tools. Okay, so let's do a quick check. Which AI tools have you tried? I think you can actually go through let me see what's the next one. Okay, yes. So just go through this and have a look, and we'll see your responses. Okay, so just go to menti.com and use the code 13290760, 13290760. Let me see if I can activate a QR code. Okay, yes. Or you can scan the QR code on the screen, and you can join us in coming up with this response. For which AI tools have you tried? Let me try it as well. See that it's working. Okay. ChatGPT. Great. ChatGPT, yeah. And those of you who have used ChatGPT, what do you use it for? For fun, or is it actually for work? For fun? Yoda Jedi, is that really your name? How do I address you? Okay. Yoda, okay. Right, Yoda. So ChatGPT, some have used copy.ai, great. But mostly have used ChatGPT. I think that's great. Pictory, some video creation, and I see here there's, yeah, so generally ChatGPT. Okay, that's great. So a lot of us have tried ChatGPT, and the interesting thing is that ChatGPT was the one that made AI popular. So actually, AI has been around for quite some time. So if you did your pre-readings, you would have noticed that AI has been, like in the mix and involved in research back in the 1950s. So it has been around for a very, very long time. But only now then we will start to talk about artificial intelligence and the way that it can maximize the use or even optimize the usage for our day-to-day operations, all thanks to ChatGPT. Now, what is interesting about this is that as we go through today, we will learn a little bit about how these AI tools actually impact our work and how we can maximize its usage for the day-to-day activities. And throughout the whole journey, this whole series of workshops that we have, you will learn even more things about how you can use AI for digital marketing, for like creating your websites and even using it to write copy. So which AI tools have you heard about but never used before? So go ahead and share with me your responses. Let's see where, oops, sorry. QR code. Okay. Apple Intelligence. Okay, cool. I don't own an Apple device, so this is something that I've not yet tried. So I hope it's working out for you guys. Anything else that you have heard about but you have never used before? So in the chat, let's see. Okay. I only have one response, but there are 11 of us, including myself, so means there's 10 of you. Could I get more responses from you, please? So that we can make this an engaging learning experience for everyone. So which AI tool have you heard about but never used? Midjourney, okay. Okay, any more? If you find it difficult to jot your responses for Menti, feel free to also drop it in the chat. Not sure, okay? Okay, so Midjourney. Now I think a lot of us think that Midjourney is actually expensive, or it is difficult to access. But it's actually quite accessible. Just the difficulty of actually getting it is that you have to go through using a third-party tool, which is Discord. So not everybody is familiar or are willing to create a separate account entirely just for it. So the good news is that Midjourney's purpose and intention is to create images using prompts. But now ChatGPT, the Pro version, allows you to do the same. So you have similar functions, similar abilities that allows you to come up with something creative using AI tools. Okay, thank you for your participation. Now let's return back to the landscape and the brief history of AI. So as I've shared earlier just now, the origins of AI or artificial intelligence research can be traced back to the 1950s when scientists began exploring how to create machines that could mimic human intelligence. Now, I think from very long before we came up with computers, we were already thinking of ways on how we can better perform, how we can maximize our intelligence and human intelligence. So this is something that the human race has always been looking for. So it's not entirely new. So what's interesting, I would say, is this part, the next one, where the major milestone that demonstrated the potential of artificial intelligence include these incidences. which is the beating of the world chess champion Garry Kasparov in 1997, IBM's Watson supercomputer winning Jeopardy in 2011, and the development of self-driving car technology. So all of this is as a result of the beginning stages of artificial intelligence being researched about. So we need to comprehend that this is years in the making, and it wasn't just something that happened overnight. It just so happened that with the right technology, with the right speed and intensity and storage spaces, it helped us speed up the journey of going through artificial intelligence and implementing it in our day-to-day practices. So in recent years, the AI advancement has rapidly accelerated due to the increase in data, computing power, cloud resources, and investment in the field, which is what I shared with you just now. So there's this concept called big data. So the more information that we actually store, we need to actually process it. But if you use it just within your own computers itself, just on its own, imagine not connected to any like servers or anything like that, it might be too intense and too heavy for the system to take it into consideration. So that's why we actually channel it over to bigger server houses and cloud computing, and that's where the data is stored. And this is all thanks to AI advancement. Now, there's this thing called the natural language processing. Okay, if you have heard of this before, then you know that natural language processing, or NLP, is what enables the AI systems to interpret, generate, and understand human language, including speech and text. This is the basis of ChatGPT. The natural language processing is the one that allows us to have that conversation, a little sparring or even debate, you might say, between ourselves and the computer. And these are like conversations that make their responses sound more human-like. So of course, in the initial stages of any AI tools, there will be some learning phases or learning stages. And that's also why like some people have tested out Gemini or even Copilot, and they say that there were some mistakes in their responses or some weird responses that the tool gives. But it's okay because it is learning, it's getting better, and it is just trying to understand how it can process the language even better for you to comprehend and use the tool effectively. So the second type of AI is machine learning. Now, machine learning is a subset of AI, and it is focused on algorithms that can learn from data and improve at tasks over time without explicit programming. Now, it sounds very complex, okay? But the reality of it is just that it is based on an algorithm or a set of codes that the data can then improve on over time. Okay, so that's machine learning. Now, the other type of AI is computer vision. And computer vision is the field of AI focused on enabling computers to identify, categorize, and process visual inputs like images, videos, and camera data. Now, this one has been around far longer than the ChatGPT that we know of today. So in fact, in most of our security systems, prior to even the introduction of ChatGPT and all that, and the conversation around artificial intelligence, this one has been around for at least 10 years, even before this. So they do tracking movements of like people, making sure that buildings are they don't have to like have maybe a security officer in every single floor of a big building, but they can utilize tools like facial recognition and tracking of human beings so that they can detect whether there are disturbances or people who are unauthorized or who are not supposed to be on the floor. So that's when then they will deploy the security team accordingly to those floors or affected areas. So this one has been around for quite some time. It's just now more, how would I put this? It's more streamlined, more polished, and it is definitely something that is a little bit more accessible to the everyday user as compared to businesses only at the time. So when was the first time that you heard of or even tried AI? Maybe you can share it with us. Okay, so you can feel free to scan the QR code, or you can join us at Menti 132900760, or you can just drop it in the chat, whichever works. As long as I have responses, I'm happy today. Okay. I'll give you guys some time to respond. No responses from the crowd? When was the first time you think, if you recall back, when was the first time that someone actually had the conversation with you about this thing called artificial intelligence? Wow, it's so specific, December 2022 to draft the work email. Okay, great. Maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, and we have some responses in the chat. The day you tried Siri. Wow, when was that, Amanda? Wow, Siri, yes. Come to think of it, Siri was one of the first ones. Yeah, in 2022. Okay, great. So some great responses coming from all of you. So I agree. I think even for me, artificial intelligence, I didn't really know much about it. I did read about the scary conversations that take place about how, like machines are able to detect your face and things like that. But the one that where I truly had the engagement was actually with Siri. I think when Apple phones first came out, with Siri included in it, I was just like playing around with my friend's iPhone. Wherever I got the opportunity, I would like go to test out the device at the stores and just try to play with Siri. I think that's actually quite a refresher, a great memory that I have about first time hearing about artificial intelligence. Right, great. Let's see, I think there's one more. Oh, okay, yeah. Shortly after Apple introduced it, yeah, Amanda, same like me, yes. Okay, great. So we know that artificial intelligence have been around for quite some time, but big companies with large amount of resources have had AI capabilities much earlier than all of us. And that's because, of course, they have a little bit more resources, they have more money, more space. They are able to hold and host the data that we were talking about earlier. So AI powers many technologies that we use on a day-to-day basis. So some examples include our Netflix show recommendations. You know, when you really don't know what to watch, it suddenly pops up and recommends you a show and you watch it and you enjoyed it. Yeah, so that is what Netflix does. And this is based on algorithm. And that part is machine learning. And then we also have Google Maps. So what do you think Google Maps is actually based on? The type of AI that we've discussed today. Yeah, so Google Maps is actually quite unique. It is a blend of a few AI types, but the one predominantly that it shows up is currently machine learning, because what it's trying to do is trying to prevent excessive traffic jams. So what they're trying to do is to create a personalized route for you based on your preferences. So if you notice sometimes that when you open up to the same destination, Google Maps may recommend you to take 3 buses to it, but another friend may have one route straight, just take MRT or take the train, and the distance remaining is to walk, because it is based on the preferences of the user. So based on that, they were able to make recommendation accordingly. And of course, voice-enabled smart speakers like your Alexa, you've got your Google Home, and you have the many, many bouts of it. So Amazon, even recommendation for you if you open up Amazon app, you open up and they recommend some products for you. Those are all artificial intelligence. And even customers also viewed. And these are all based on your day-to-day activities on your mobile phone, and even on the things that you actually like within the app itself. It's really, really quite interesting on how AI powers many of the technologies that we use today. Now, with the rise of end consumer technology being made available to the public, has made it much easier for everyone to use AI. But of course, with that, it comes, like ethical discourse and ethical considerations when we are using artificial intelligence. So that's something that we will talk about maybe at a later stage of this class today. So why do we need to use AI for our work? Okay, so these are the clear ones, the clear benefits to actually using AI for our work. It helps us boost efficiency, of course, where we get to automate routine tasks, freeing up valuable time for strategic work. You can also do things like enhancing your creativity whenever you run out of creative juices, especially those who are in the marketing industry, you know this very well. When you run out of creative juices and you really cannot think anymore, you can generate new ideas and content very quickly, enriching your creative output. And of course, you get to personalize customer experience, where you get to offer tailored recommendations and support improving satisfaction. Now, what are some other benefits for you as you use AI in your work? So maybe you can just drop some in the chat. I'll wait a while to read out your responses. So I'll share a little bit about the boosting of efficiency from my perspective as well. And then we can, carry on a little bit more. Okay, so don't be afraid, just drop your own benefits to using AI, and then I'll also share with you my thoughts on this. Okay, so for me, the benefit of using AI is really boosting efficiency, because there were a lot of times where you actually have pockets of time in between activities that you may have blocked out time on, like on Google Calendar. And I always find that those pockets of time are kind of like wasted. So a tool that I've been using recently, I kind of forgot its name, but it's like so, it becomes muscle memory. You just click on it and you know what it is. I'm gonna go find out what it is. But what this tool does is that it fills up the pockets of time with things or habits I would like to work on. So it will just fill in accordingly to the things that I want to work on. Let's say I want to lose weight. I really need to hit the gym. I tell the system that I need to hit the gym. I need to clock in 5 hours a week. Okay, that's as a beginning, as a beginner stage of wanting to clock in this effort to lose weight. So they notice there's a pocket of time of about 2 hours in between my schedule. They'll just pop that in and make a recommendation for me to hit the gym. So this is something that's quite interesting, that artificial intelligence can definitely help us be more routine, be more strategic about the usage of our time. So that's at least for me. Okay, so I see limited responses in the chat, but you can think about it as a reflection point for yourself. So why does AI work for you, and how do you utilize it effectively for your work? Okay, I've got one. Let's see. Okay, so Amanda says, to me, it's time saving. We only have a day, but our to-do list just got longer and longer. And AI can help to save time by doing the basic work or foundational work for us. Then we just need to build up the meat. I completely agree with you, Amanda. This is also the case for me. So in my day job, right, what I really need to do is I need to write a lot. I need to write press releases. I need to write speeches. I need to write blurbs, talking points, captions, pretty much everything that I need to do. Sometimes you just run out of ideas, so I'll run it through ChatGPT and get it to help me form up a structure. Sometimes I have the structure, I have the outline, but I do not have time to put it into words. So I send the structure, the outline into ChatGPT, and they can craft up wonders for me. So I really love ChatGPT a lot. It is definitely a great investment to community and to society. So to the founders of ChatGPT, thank you for creating it and helping make our lives easier. Okay, great. So let's carry on to the next part. So other than that, AI also helps us make data-driven decisions. Perhaps if you are in a smaller company, or if you're running a business on your own, or even if you're just like working for yourself, you don't need this as much as compared to a larger organization. So in the context of like larger organizations, they need to process the data and they need to make sense of the data. So when you have large data sets and it does not make any sense, that's a waste of resource. So when they run it through AI to make complete sense of why they are doing certain things or activities, they can be more informed and can make better business decisions. So let me give you an example. I read this somewhere, but I cannot remember exactly where it is. I believe it was from Harvard. Harvard Business Review actually had an article related to this and how artificial intelligence actually improved the manufacturing industry. So with data, yes, it was Amazon. So with data, Amazon now knows exactly which aisles that their packers actually need to go to take the items, and they can just pull all the items accordingly, not based on the order, but based on the items they need to bring it down to the central location where another person packs the item according to the order sheet. So this has helped to improve their time packing and managing the warehouse and inventory management. So this is one of the ways that data-driven decisions can help to improve the business production in the long run. Now, of course, it helps to scale your operations once you have data, and you can also increase workload because now your skilled employees who are human beings can focus on higher order thinking, while the day-to-day more menial activities can be done by AI. So this is the thought process now. And that's also why as the economy progresses throughout the whole of ASEAN, not just in Singapore, what we are moving towards is to encourage people to build on skills that are able to help you grow your potential in the business beyond just thinking of the everyday activities. So more thought-provoking kind of processes, more thinking work rather than the doing work. So this is something that you can actually explore. Google also has a couple of certifications online on Coursera that you guys can take up. It's free if you're very determined to complete it within 1 month. It's free for you, I think, because Coursera actually has a free trial 30 days. So if you can complete it in 1 month, wow, that's like power, like really great job done on you. I'm going through one right now, but it has been 6 months and I'm still paying for it because I'm not able to complete it as fast as I would have hoped for. But it's a great way for you to build up your skills. Now, of course, with AI, you get to do cost reduction, where you are able to lower operational costs by automating the task. So this is similar to what I shared earlier. As an individual, the automation that I did was to make sure I hit my habit goals. To form a new habit, you need to repeat it at least 7 times. That's what I did. So I placed it into this tool, and then it just charts out what I need to do for the rest of the week. And of course, to stay competitive, where you get to utilize the latest technology to remain relevant and competitive in your industry. Okay, and AI tools can be particularly transformative for under-resourced teams, small businesses, and entrepreneurs by leveling the playing field and offering. And I agree with this so much. So instead of having a team of 10, you can now just be a team of 3 because everything else is done by artificial intelligence. And this is the beauty of using tools and technology. Well, boon and bane, with technology also means that there are people who will not be able to get the same job. So instead of 10 people, I have 7 people who are out of job. But come on, guys, these 7 people need to work on improving their skills. And that's where AI tools will become beneficial for them too. Okay, so we have been seeing a lot on the ground at Media House. So Hatch Media House is the one that's hosting today. And some of the things that we see across the board, like even in digital marketing industries or agencies, is that with the use of artificial intelligence, you get to reduce the time for website development or website builds from months to weeks. You can even create a landing page in as much as 5 minutes. You can even write human sounding copy for campaign materials without having to go through multiple levels of approvals because it really sounds perfect and polished already. And of course, to document work, share in-depth briefs with minimal efforts. So this is the beauty of artificial intelligence. It is supposed to make things easy for you, but you still need to utilize the human power of the brain to put in the right prompts. And that's when you will be able to maximize its impact. So where are you curious to use AI for your work or marketing? Feel free to share. If it's not here on Menti, you can go ahead and drop inside the chat while I take a quick breather. I've been speaking quite fast for the past few minutes. Whew. Okay, let's do this, guys. Okay. Both. Okay. For work and marketing. Okay, where exactly in the area of work and marketing that you would like to see more AI for your work? Maybe you can think along those lines. Okay. How about the rest? For work? Okay, great. For work. Maybe you can share with us what do you work as, and I can make the recommendations accordingly. Oh, personal branding. Yes. Love it. Yeah, you can definitely use AI for personal branding, content creation. Yeah. Good. And if you can go specific into the work that we do, what aspect or what area of the work that we would like to see more help from the tool of with the use of AI tools. Communications, yeah, personalization, very good, very good. Social media management, yeah, this is definitely possible. Writing for work, yeah, and creating write-ups and contents. Sure, that's great. I think there's one more. More routine admin tasks, data entry. Yes, all of this can be processed, and I will show you some of it using the tools that we will be discovering today. Cool. I think one of the aspects that we are probably missing here is to consider translations as well. So give it a try. I think all of us here living in ASEAN, we have our own native language, and our lingua franca, our means of communication for today's class is in English. Try translating something from English to your native language, and you see how this actually helps to improve the speed of your work in translating what you mean to what can be delivered in the context of your work. Yeah. So I wanted to just share this. Again, let me brief first. Okay, yeah. So I used ChatGPT previously when it was, very early on in the establishment of ChatGPT back in 2020. I used it to translate a course outline from English to Malay, and then back from Malay to English, and it worked wonders. So it's not perfect in terms of its explanation, but it gives you the framework for you to improve on. So it speeds up the process tremendously. So now I can do up courses, like I can come up with like the learning outcomes, and I can turn it into something, the materials to use to teach the sessions. I can do all those things in just one complete day, as compared to weeks of actually planning each of this and translating it, finding the right context and things like that. Yeah, you can even do the academics citations and referencing. So of course, based on the data set that it has. So in the case of ChatGPT, it is based on data sets pulled up all the way to 2022. I think in the recent update, they pulled it up until 2023. But if you use Gemini or Copilot, it is connected to the internet. So it can actually give you more real-time responses. So great. I'm glad that you guys are thinking about this, because this is really the main intention of AI tools is to help us with our work and even for the efforts towards marketing. So great. Now, let's take a look at the tool specific. Now, which conversational AI shall we explore today? Okay, so you can do a quick Google search and see which of these tools that you are curious about. And I'll do my very best to go with the first or the most popular one. Okay, so just give it a vote right now so that we can see which ones that everyone would like to go with. Copilot and Gemini. Amanda, do you mind actually scanning and throwing it up so we can also like tally how many people are interested in the tools? Okay, so you can go to menti.com. It's at the top of the screen here, and use the code 13290760, 13290760. Ooh, nice. Okay, so we've got three responses. We'll wait until we've got about 75% of the class. Okay, then we'll call that as the end of it, okay? Okay. Wow, okay. So we have Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, Notion. Actually, Bing Chat has been changed. Now it's called Copilot, so it's pretty much that. And then ChatGPT. I think you guys are experts at ChatGPT, so you don't need it anymore. Okay, let's see. Claude, okay. Perplexity, okay, Notion. Okay, let's just wait for one more person, and then we'll call that as what we need. We'll call it a close for this poll. Okay, another person wants to join in. Okay, there you go. Okay, great. So Claude, Perplexity, Gemini. Okay, so I will do my best to show you guys the examples with these three today. I think I have access to Perplexity and Gemini, but Claude, I had some issues logging in just now, but no worries. I can still show you how it actually looks like. Now, the next one I'm going to ask you is which generative design AI that we should explore today. So we've got Canva AI, ChatGPT, DALL-E, Midjourney, and Framer AI. Okay, so just have a quick look and let me know what your thoughts are. Ooh, okay. Wow. I think the class is pretty split, yeah? Just now ChatGPT's DALL-E was at the top, and then now Midjourney is at the top. So to be fair also, we'll wait for two more responses. Okay, got 5. Ooh, 6. responses. Now, Midjourney, Canva AI, ChatGPT's DALL-E, these are what you all are asking for. So later on, we'll do our very, very best to actually give you a glimpse into how Midjourney, Canva AI, as well as ChatGPT's DALL-E looks like. Okay, great. So I'll close the poll right now. Moving on. Okay, so I would like to take 5 minutes. So we're going to take a short 5-minute break while the team at Hatch and myself will do a setup for the tech parts to help you familiarize yourself with the tools. Okay, so you guys can go and have like a short toilet break or even like take a drink or something. I'll come back in 5 minutes time. Okay, give me another 30 seconds. Hello, welcome back, everyone. Okay, great. So let me just recap what was the results of our conversational AI. We have Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, and Notion AI. I'm facing some challenges with Claude, okay, but I can just show you what this platform is and how it actually looks like. Okay, give me a moment. I'm going to reshare my screen. Okay, so the only way to access Claude right now is actually if you go in and have a look at it. But basically what Claude is it allows you to create drafts and iterations of your websites, your graphics, alongside with the chat features. You can also bring in additional knowledge like your existing projects that you have. So in this example that they put here is that you can bring in your PDFs, place it inside there, they will extract the data and then create a consolidated report so that you are able to like save yourself a lot of time. Then, of course, you can also work together with your colleagues. So they can drop all their, in this case, would be like chat transcripts and then they consolidate the results that they have gained. Yeah, so currently I'm facing some challenges with this because they require a US-based mobile number. I tried putting in my Singapore-based mobile number, but I do not get any one-time password. So that's the reason why I cannot access it. But let me just show you a couple of like videos of what people have shared about Claude AI. Give me a moment while I pull this up. Okay, let's see which one is the shortest. Then we can view it together. Okay, I will just select one. I'll turn on the volume, let it run through so we can actually explain to you how it looks like. Let me know if you're not seeing it on the screen. Okay, great, you're seeing it. Okay, so what it does here, this guy is kind of like trying to explain the different looks and feel of the tools and the price and all that. So the thing about Claude is you have to pay in order for you to use it. And the challenge I faced was even with the trial, I wasn't able to actually access it. But it is a good tool. It is a tool that helps you to speed up the process of you creating resources, consolidating your task, and just like what you saw in the examples that they've shared, consolidating all the resources that you have. If you have like 30 reports and each report is 30 pages long, that's really a lot to go through. But if you push it and run it through Claude, it is able to consolidate and give a summary of what it is able to do. So here he's trying to say that it does not have the function of creating something from scratch, but it is able to guide you towards what needs to be done based on the level of price that you actually select in your plans. Okay. So unfortunately, I cannot show you exactly how it looks like right now because I'm locked out. Yeah, but I believe our colleague here with us, he has access to it. So perhaps Christine, if you can show us, you can share your screen with us, that would be great. And I'll help to share a little bit about what it is. Let me know if you can. If you can't, it's okay. I'll move on first and we can always circle back to Claude later. Okay, can. So our colleague Kristen has confirmed that he does not have access right now. So no worries. We will carry on to the next one. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. We cannot show you how Claude exactly looks like, but we'll go on to the next one, which is perplexity. Okay, for perplexity, it is quite interesting, quite an interesting tool to play with. So just now, I was just like trying to ask it for the best recipes to bake chocolate chip cookies. Okay, let's do that right now. Okay, so best recipes to bake the perfect chunky chocolate chip cookies. Let's see what comes up. Wait, are you seeing anything? No, you're not. Wait, give me a moment. Perplexity. Okay, I think you should be able to see it now. Okay, there you go. All right, so perplexity allows you to actually ask it questions and it will pull out sources. So this actually helps you, especially when you're writing like your academic research or you need to verify certain sources. It helps you to identify which articles available online, could give you the best response to the question that you have asked. So in this case, I put in this prompt, which is best recipes to bake the perfect chunky chocolate chip cookie. They gave me a couple of articles over here. And according to them, the best bakery style chocolate chip cookies is from Scientifically Sweet. So this one, number 2, because it uses cold butter for thick, tall cookies that don't spread too much. Okay, quite interesting. And then they explain the difference about the chocolate chip cookies, chewy texture. If I'm making you hungry, I sincerely apologize because this is something that I've been craving for the longest time, chunky chocolate chip cookies. Okay, so let's give it another try. Okay, so there are a couple of prompts over here that they are recommending us to give it a shot and try it out as well. So let's maybe look at the tax savings ideas. Okay, so just by clicking that, they will share with you this. So I'm going to ask it a follow-up question right now and say to contextualize based on the Singapore's context. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay. So based on this, it's pulling out more local responses, things that are relevant to the context. Okay, so the trick with any kind of prompts that you create or with any kind of context that you want to set, right, is that you must always give it very specific instructions and set some context. Because if there's no context, they will not be able to understand exactly what you are asking for. And additionally, this is something that I learned as well. It will be very helpful for the natural language processing behind all of these tools, right? For you to provide them with examples of what you are expecting or looking for. So then once they have more information, they can then be able to provide you with better responses. So I use this like thought process a lot when it comes to writing prompts, which is garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so if you put in garbage, garbage will come out. And so you must put in good things and also feed it with the right information, the things that you are looking for. And then it will also give you the responses based on what you are looking for. That's actually the trick to using the natural language processing tools, the NLP, for the tools in AI. Okay, so this is something that's quite interesting. Let's see, is there anything else that we can try over here? Let's see, discover. What else can we try? Okay, discover is not really that helpful. It's just showing me articles that I might be interested in. So it allows you to attach PDF files. So let me just see if there's anything I can attach. Let's see, these are all receipts. Okay, let's see. Not helpful. I've got a lot of receipts, guys. So you know it's tax season. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put in my resume. Okay, let's see what it has to say about it. Okay. So what okay, I'm gonna give it more specific. Summarize the key highlights of this candidate's profile for a lecturing position. Okay, let's see what it has to say. I uploaded my resume inside there and I asked it to summarize it, but the way I asked it is as though I'm a HR personnel. So here, the key highlights of my profile is this. Is I've got 10 years of experience in applied entrepreneurship. and all that. So they are summarizing the things that I need to be aware of. So this is really quite helpful, especially when you have long data, so you can place it inside and it can help you give a summary of what it is. So those of you who are still studying, if you've got a lot of readings from your professors, got no time to read, just dump it inside, give me a summary. That's exactly what this tool is used for. Okay, I hope I've helped you gain some clarity to Perplexity. The next one that was asked was Gemini. So we'll take a look quickly at Gemini and how to use this. Same rules apply with any NLP-based GPTs, right? You just have to provide it with the questions that you are looking for and give it very easy prompts or simple prompts and be direct. So that's the trick here. Be direct, give it some context, and also set some examples if you want it to be more useful for you in your response. Okay, so let's say we just base it on the ones that they have identified here. So create a 12-week study plan for learning a new language, which is Italian. So let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so this is a plan. Okay. Let's see if we can do a step further. Teach me Italian following week one's proposed plan above. There you go. So it can be helpful to you based on what you ask it to do. So in this case, I can learn a couple of words and it explains to me what it means. So this is actually quite helpful, especially if you're planning to do a lot of things that involve structures, planning, and all that. And you know, like it can be quite a heavy task on you if you have to do the research and then do the writing and then do the planning later on. So it can be quite intense. So you run it through such programs and it speed up the process for you. Now, Gemini and Notion AI are tied in your poll. So let's give it a go here on Notion as well. So Notion is not, I mean, there is the free version and there's the paid version. So for Notion AI, if I'm not mistaken, it's available regardless of the plan that you are on. So we can try Notion AI right now by, you can actually select based on items that are on your existing profile, or you can ask it questions and it will be able to access it, access the database elsewhere within its own data. It is still a GPT, just, for clarity. It is still based on similar frameworks as ChatGPT. So when you ask questions, use the same framework when you ask your prompts as well, which is, again, be specific, set up your context, and also give examples. Okay, so in this case, we're going to use the chunky cookie example again. So give me the best resource or recipes for chunky chocolate chip cookies. Let's see what comes up. This is not a great example, by the way, of how to actually create your prompt, but lack of time, so I'm just going to show you. So here they're telling me that they can't find specific information, but a general advice is that I can use cold butter, and then mix it in with extra chocolate chips and use bread flour instead of all-purpose flour. Now, what's interesting is that this line is exactly the same as what Perplexity gave us just now. Let's see this one. So it says here, uses cold butter is the same. So what does it show you? That you are actually using similar baselines or similar data to give you the responses that you are looking for each of the GPTs or each of the tools that we are talking about today. Okay, so I hope that gives you some glimpse into the conversational AI that you can have. I just wanted to just pop in over here to just show you how you can maximize ChatGPT as well. So I have a paid version of ChatGPT, which in all honesty, I just paid for today. But I wanted to show you something that made things really quite interesting for me. Was this? Hold on. Need to scroll down and find it. Okay, so I was demonstrating this in another class where I gave a very specific prompt and I wanted the ChatGPT to just teach me or create an outline for the course. And I gave it very, very specific prompts. So this is an example of a good prompt for your information. So I stated here, you will act as a marketing copywriter, and I will provide to you the name of the online course. You will come up with the description for the online course with an objective to convince people to enroll. And my first request is write a product description for my online course called Perfect Podcast Course, which focuses on foundation of launching a podcast show. And these are the proposed modules that I have, and the outcome are this. So this is the copy that they came up with. I think they're not bad. They're not that bad. So what you can do then is actually to run this through ChatGPT. Canva later on when you are actually structuring and creating your contents and things like that. So this is the point of using ChatGPT. You can use multiple tools, but at the end of the day, use your brain. You got to use the power of your human brain and come up with a very strong and solid prompt to help it work its tool better. Okay, so just to scroll down further to show you. So at the end of it, it was able to give me a sufficient length of copy that I can use for my landing page, but I didn't like the hook, so I just tell them to improve on the hook, and I give it an example of how it should sound like, and then they proposed this. So this is some way that you can actually utilize natural language processing tools, conversational AI, basically to help you get things done for yourself. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. And now let's go back. Let me reshare my screen. Okay, so here we have what you all have just now, which is generative design AI. Okay, I am having issues connecting to Midjourney, but I will show you an example of what I have created previously using Midjourney, and I can share with you what the prompt was. And then here we have Canva AI as well as ChatGPT's DALL-E. So these two I can show you. So Midjourney will show you some examples in a short while. Okay, so let me open up first Midjourney. Okay, so take a look over here. I hope you can see the screen. So this was generated on Midjourney. It was part of another Hatch program that we did with children. So we were creating storybook characters, and the child input this prompt into Midjourney: a feminine parrot warrior with a tribal crown. And this is what it produced. Nice, right? Very, very beautiful. So what it is able to do here, right, is that it is able to help you create something completely imaginary, but feed into the concept that you have created. So if I were to run the same one into Midjourney today, you may end up getting different things. Okay, so we're going to do the same prompt to show you the different impact on all the other tools. So I'll show you how it will look like on Canva, and I will also show you how it will look like on ChatGPT. Okay, so give me a moment. Okay, so just to recap, the prompt is here: a feminine parrot warrior with a tribal crown. Okay, so for ChatGPT, we need to give it a little bit more prompt. And the reasoning behind this is because it is, it's trying to discern between, are you asking me a text-based response, or are you asking me an image-based response? So I'm going to, hit it with a question this way, using DALL-E. Help. Okay, create a storybook character with this description. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so this is for ChatGPT DALL-E. Now DALL-E has been bought over by ChatGPT, so you can pay for ChatGPT Pro, which is 20 USD a month, and you will be able to get access to it. So do you see this? And you compare with this. Quite interesting, right? That is quite different. So this is a parrot. This isn't a parrot. But the prompt remains similar. So we can always get it to try again and be more specific this time. This time, instead of a parrot face, make it human. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. For those of you who are familiar with using ChatGPT and have done conversationals, these are some of the tips that I can share with you. That when things don't go well, educate it by telling it, try again, and then be more specific with how you would like it to try again. Okay, so here you can see that now is more feminine, more women-like. The feathers are still kind of like parrot, but it is not as great as this still. Okay, so that's at least what we can see from here. Now let's do the same with Canva. So with Canva, Canva AI, they have this thing called Magic Studio. So Magic Studio has a lot of other things that you can do with it, including creating a design from scratch, creating presentations, and even helping you to write. So that's the great thing about Canva Magic Studio. There are other ways that you can also, like for example, this one, text to image. So you turn the text into an image, and this is what we are going to use right now in order for us to demonstrate the differences that we mentioned just now between this one and this image. So I'm going to input the same prompt and we'll see what we get. Okay, so a feminine parrot warrior with a tribal crown. I'm going to give it the same style. So in terms of style, let's select something that's quite close. Which one is it? Digital art. So maybe dreamy. Is it dreamy? Okay, let's try retro wave. Okay, let's see what we get. So for Canva, on the other hand, it is able to generate 4 images for you, and you get to choose the one that you like the most. So from there, you will then, you can still run it through again and ask them to regenerate over and over again. So a friend of mine actually does use Canva AI for social media content just to get an idea of how the layout is supposed to look like. And then she will just replace with her own images, her own text and all that to make things a lot easier for her. So she doesn't have to come up with a fresh template each time. Okay, so look, these are all very beautiful actually. I wouldn't say that they are the worst. They look great. And I wasn't being very specific as well in terms of how I would like it to look like. This is really great. This one not bad too. So let's see. Quite nice, huh? And then we have maybe this. This one is actually a warrior with a parrot. So they are trying their very best to mimic what we were asking. But I think this one is as close as it can get. Yes. This one will be the closest to what we are looking for. Yeah. So yeah, it's able to do a decent job, I must say, bringing in together the prompts that you have with what you envision in your design. Okay, so I hope you've had an interesting view at all the different things that we can do with the generative AI tools, as well as the conversational AI tools. Okay, so some challenges and limitations of AI tools is data privacy. So when you input data into AI tools, it must be necessary that for you to be mindful of what you put in, because it can be used to train these models. So be mindful about the information you provide, especially personal or sensitive data. Okay. Other than that, AI might also give answers that lean a certain way based on the data it was trained on. So again, garbage in, garbage out. You put nonsense inside, nonsense will come out. It's as simple as that. And it's like asking a question and getting an opinionated response. So we should always look for diverse viewpoints, guide it and teach it on how to avoid bias. The role of us as human users is to guide it to be diverse, to offer perspectives and educate it and correct it when it is incorrect or it is wrong in the way that it is responding to you. Okay, and the reasons behind this is simple. It is natural language processing, and it is also machine learning, which means it's learning from the things that you are inputting into the text box there. So we all actually have a duty of asking it the right questions and feeding it with the right information. So do be mindful of that when you're working with AI tools. Of course, there's also this thing called AI hallucinations. AI, sometimes, not all the time, make up information to get things wrong. And always double check your facts and your figures, because AI sometimes provide against trusted, they don't really check their sources. So like for example, ChatGPT don't really check the sources. If you try Gemini or Copilot, they try to check the sources, but you still have to double check, triple check a couple of times before you can call it your own in a way. Okay, so you have to make sure that as you use it as a foundation rather than use it as the end piece. I think that's the most important takeaway that I can share with you today. Now, I shared this just now. So when you want to create an effective prompt, you can use a simple formula, which is objective. Start with a clear objective. What do you want the AI to do? Context, provide it relevant and clear context. Who is it for and what are the specifics of this context? You can also put in details. If there are any specific details or constraints, put it in. Tell them you cannot talk about this, cannot talk about that. And like you need it to be 500 words, or it has to be based on a third-person perspective and things like that. So be more detailed in your explanation. You can also include in the tone and the style. So specify how the tone should be. Is it more formal? Is it more casual? Is it more friendly? And style out the output that you would like. Styling out could be things like list it out in a table format. Keep it as bullet forms, or you would like it to be in long sentences and number each of the paragraphs. So these are some of the things that you can guide them with to make the responses that you get what you are looking for. Okay, so other than that, you can also take a look at this in application, how we actually use the framework. Okay, so objective is to create a landing page. The context is for a night-only F&B business specializing in street food. The details emphasize Mexican cuisine, vibrant night atmosphere, targeting food enthusiasts, informal, inviting, and energetic. So these are some of the things that you can actually input to utilize this framework or formula that we've discussed today. Okay, so make AI your co-creator, meaning to say it's your friend. The AI tool is there to help you. Okay, so work together with it rather than treating it like it is the source for all the goodness that is ever going to come in your life. No, okay? It is not your servant, it is not your slave. Okay, you got to make sure that you actually use it wisely and treat it like a friend, where you'll be able to identify the needs that you have, and it can help you deliver better responses as you go along. So you can use AI to identify creative needs, determine which part of your project requires the creative input or enhancement. So it usually is not used throughout the whole process, but perhaps just the beginning, or maybe the difficult stages that you are encountering, or the things that you are not good at. So like, for example, for me, I hate nitpicking grammar and all that. This is not something that I like to do. So I would just run into ChatGPT and let it be the one doing the proofreading. Okay, so this is some of the things that you may want to consider. Other than that, you can also think about selecting the AI co-creator, which is choosing the suite of AI tools that works for you. It doesn't have to be that because everyone else is using ChatGPT, you also have to use ChatGPT. You pick the ones that work for you and set some collaborative parameters where you define your goals, your desired styles, and the constraints to guide the AI. So if you are leading your organizations or your team, it will be good practice for you to form up some parameters and guidelines around what aspect of the work can be used. You can use ChatGPT or you can use AI tools, and which aspect you can't. Okay, so that you get clearer on the roles and responsibilities of your team. Of course, engage it in iterative creation, which is to interact with the AI as a partner, as a sparring partner, as a debate partner, and give it some opinion by refining prompts based on outputs until the desired results are achieved. And of course, to incorporate and adapt seamlessly, integrate your AI, whatever you've generated, into your project, but adapt it as necessary to try to create and make it yours, basically. So the point of AI is to speed up your work, make things better for you, but not entirely to claim it as your own. So this is, at least for me, as an educator, it is an ethical principle that I have, which is to not utilize AI outputs as my own. So it is to do, it's to guide you, but not for you to use it as the final completed version. Okay, so this is at least for me. I'll leave that decision to you. So what we have explored today, we've taken a look at Intro to AI Tools and its landscapes. We've also explored different types of AI tools. We talked about prompting and creating prompts that are more effective, and also some practical applications. Okay, so I think we we're quite on time actually. So if you do have some questions, feel free to drop them, and I will also like respond as the question comes. But in the meantime, I would like you to reflect, take some time to complete this. So there are 3 questions over here. It's just strongly disagree or strongly agree. So I feel excited to try new AI tools after today's exploration. I feel more confident with prompting AI. I have more of an idea on how to identify opportunities to integrate into my workflow. So go ahead and fill this up. You can scan the QR code on the screen. Okay, I think my iPods just died. So I hope you guys can still hear me. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. Now, I think you don't have to be scared about using AI. They are definitely there to help you. So just don't be too afraid about using it. Practice it. I think you'll definitely go a long way. All right, great. Thank you so much for participating in this reflection. In the chat, there is also a link for you to fill up for, like as a feedback for today's session. There's also an invitation for you to join the next session. So we hope to be able to see you then as well. Let me see what's next. Okay, so before we leave, before we end this session, I would just like to reiterate the prompt because I see that some of you we're not entirely clear about how to utilize the prompt. So you can actually take a screenshot of this and practice it later on your own. Okay, so when you are actually setting up the objective, you do not have to think of it as I have to write a smart objective or I have to make it very long. No, it's just what you are hoping for. So what is the output that you're hoping for? And then in terms of context, the more details you provide, the better. The context and the details, the more info you put in, the better. But if you cannot provide information because of security or privacy reasons, keep it broad or replace the information with XX. This is something that I learned as well. So instead of saying the data that you want to protect, you actually just put XX. So they are able to detect that that's a sensitive data, then we do not want to actually like consider it. So they will just base it on that relevant information, and it will just craft up something based on what you've placed in. The tones and the styles, you can definitely explore and learn a little bit more. So I also shared with you and demonstrated to you in my way of how I actually use ChatGPT. I shared with you like what I was hoping. I used the imagine you are now a copywriter, something like that. So I'm instructing the GPT tools to behave in a certain way. So this is also something that you can equally perform in your activities with ChatGPT or even with any other AI tools that you use that are more conversational. Okay, I hope that clarifies. Let me just do a quick check. Let me just do a quick check if there's any questions in the chat. Okay. All right, looks like there's no questions in the chat. I hope you guys have had fun learning and exploring the AI tools. And I hope to see you again in the next session where we'll talk more about the other aspects of AI tools. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. I think we can call it a close. Okay, great. Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. I hope you all have enjoyed the session and enjoy your weekend. Hope to see you all soon. Okay, take care, everyone. You're most welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much.